Hey guys, now I'm going to show you something that happened to my Anycubic Ace. Now this belt here broke, snapped. I've put a new one on. It's taken me a while to get hold of some, so I've got hold of a few now just in case it happens again. But I've got hold of another belt, so I'm going to fix this one. There is a video on how to get to this part, how to get to this stage, because you need to get to the motor. You need to get to this motor because you can't put it on. You need to actually remove the motor to turn it, twist it and get it to work. Sorry, the light's a bit, what's it, isn't it? But yeah, we get rid of that light at the moment. Can you be able to see better? That's better. So yeah, you have to get the motor on there. It took nearly a month to get the belts. I found them on eBay in the end. But yeah, you have to take all this apart. All this has to come apart. Be very careful with the bearings. It's got bearing here, bearing under there, bearing under here, and a bearing here. So you have to make sure you get all those put back in. And there's some little sliders here. There is a video on here that I came across. That's how I took mine apart, and I don't know whether I can find the link again, but what I believed happened was I had a spool of white that I was running and it had been wound wrong, and I think what it did, it locked up and the motor spun on the belt. This is the belt that broke, and I think it's spun on it. It looks like it's worn, so that's what's left of it. But you have got two belts in there exactly the same, I believe they're the same. But that's what happened to mine, and I've put all mine. You know, you do have to take it apart. There is no other video. I've not come across any video that says, you know, I should do it this way, shouldn't I, really? So guys, this is what happened to my Anycubic Ace. I've now taken it apart because I had a problem. It wasn't spinning this. It wasn't spinning. Found out this belt had broke. Now you have to strip it right down to this amount to get the belt back on. I waited a month for my belt. I've managed to get quite a few now, so just in case it happens again. But you have to strip it down to this so that you can get to the motor. Otherwise you can't put the belt back on. So be careful. If you get one and it's not pulling through, if it stops pulling through, this is what it is. It's probably the belt that snapped. What happened was I had some filament and it had been wound wrong, and it got caught up. The filament got caught up, and I believe this just spun and spun and spun, and eventually just wore away at the belt. Eventually just wore the belt out and ting, broke. So I believe that's what happened. I don't think it's a fault with the machine. I think it was a fault with the filament. So I will check that in future to make sure all of the filaments wound on properly. I think it got caught under one of the windings. I've only had this a month or 2 months, something like that, and it's a thing that's gone wrong. And once I discovered it was the belt, I thought, blimey, I can fix that. So anyway, it's a short one. I just wanted to show you that's what happened to me.